I didn't think we played well, but tip your cap to Penny and his group. I thought they did, and um, their switching really stagnated us offensively. I thought to start the game they were much quicker to the ball. They came in ready to play. DeAndre Williams and Kendra Davis gave us a ton of problems. Right, you look down, and, Davis gets to the line 14 times, and Williams goes 10 for 18, 26 and 8 for him, and 21 and 5, and I ain't seen the 6 assists. I mean, those are great lines. It's going to be hard to win when the two best players on the other team have lines like that. We certainly spent a lot of time trying to prepare our guys for that, but we didn't do a good enough job preparing, and we certainly didn't do a good enough job executing. But I'm disappointed in how we played. I didn't think we played well. I think we've been playing pretty good basketball. That wasn't the case tonight.
They seem to have a lot of success on backdoor cuts in the first half against you guys. Was that a good game plan on their part? And then it seemed like maybe you guys were able to slow that down a little bit coming out in the second half.
Yeah, they were cutting out of the corners on the strong side with the ball side. That was frustrating because it's something we work on every day, just seeing man and ball and reacting to cutting, and talked a lot about it. But I thought by the second half, we didn't have as much of that. I thought we kind of addressed it.
Did you have a good feeling when Jeremiah hit the three and tied it at 50? And that's a big momentum swing there.
Yeah, we made a nice run to come back early in the second half, and then I thought from there we struggled again.
Mike Adams-Woods fouls out of this game, struggles shooting the ball. What kind of issues did they present to him in terms of Kendrick Davis on defense and offense?
Well, it wasn't his best night. I think he'd be the first person to tell you that. I thought again, Memphis played great. Let's get that straight. But I thought Micah had great looks. I wouldn't say it's as much, some game plan. I thought the ball found him tonight open, and he didn't make them. And I don't ever get into that kind of stuff. He's a good shooter. He shot it well all year. He didn't shoot it tonight, but as you guys know, I talk about all the time, you play well enough, you overcome that kind of stuff easily. That's never the way that I, sit there after a game and evaluate it. I thought early in the game, he over-penetrated, which he hasn't been doing. Could have kept his dribble alive and found the open guy. I thought that happened twice. Once in transition, he gets the offensive foul. Once we run an action and like the Red Sea parts, and he's downhill, and they run to him, and instead of keeping it alive and hitting JD in the corner, he keeps it. Like those are the plays that he hasn't made, and he made some of those tonight. But guys, this college basketball, some nights the ball goes in open shots, and some nights it doesn't, and it doesn't tonight. But that, to me, shouldn't impact whether we win or lose the game. That's just called basketball.
Seems like a little bit older Memphis team overall. Maybe could you sense that experience when you guys tie it back up, that they didn't seem to get rattled?
I don't know. I certainly hadn't processed all that. I just was coaching our team the next possession.
You have nearly a week now, but is this the type of thing? Do you need the week, or you're competitive? Would you like to just have another game in 2 days to get it out of your system?
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. When we have practice, let's get ready and let's get better. That's the way I operate as a coach. I don't control the schedule, so I don't really. The conference makes the schedule. I never sit there and look at it and have feelings about it. They make a basketball schedule, and you get ready, and you have practice days, you practice. You have games, you compete. That's the way I've always approached it.
You've talked a lot about Vic's development. What does that allow you guys to do differently on offense than maybe you couldn't have done as much last year or even early in the season?
Well, we were trying to get the ball to him more, whether it's just in flow versus switching or calling some sets and actions to do it. And, I thought he did a nice job after the first 4 or 5 minutes of being a little tighter in execution. He didn't practice as much this week due to some ailments, and I thought we weren't as sharp. He wasn't as sharp maybe executing, but the talent's there. You guys see it. I'd like him to – I didn't like the three, and I do think he's going to be a guy that can really make threes. We work on it. I mean, I shot with him earlier this week, and we work on that. But that's not the shots he shoots in practice, so I don't want to shoot him in games. That's coming one day, but that's not where we're at now. And 0 for 4 from the free throw line, that's a little frustrating. But he did some nice things, attacking the switches around the basket.
Rob Fennessy warms up today, pregame. Didn't get in the contest, obviously, but what kind of update do you have on him and heading into this coming week of practice?
He practiced a little bit yesterday. He's been shooting, trying to get back into that. Yesterday's the first time he's participated. Did not participate in the full practice, but did parts of practice. So, day to day, and hopefully we'll have him back at some point here soon.
David, it seemed like they had a lot of success going backdoor in the first half. Was that something you talked about at halftime? Any other adjustments? You guys obviously came out much better in the second half.
Oh, yeah. They were successful. They were setting a little side ball screen, and then which we called the choke guy who was in the gap. They was kind of cutting him through, which gave us some issues. But we addressed it over at halftime for sure.
I think they were switching screens a lot on offense. I feel like that was going to lead to a big game for Beck.
Yeah, for sure. Whenever you get that, you get mismatches down low. So, he did a good job. Well, he had 22 points and 10 rebounds. So, yeah, he did a really good job.
What has Vic done just for the offense in general? It seems like it allows you guys obviously run more through the post, run more of those high ball screens, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, he's a very talented player. So whenever he has someone on his back, or even at times if he don't have someone on his back and he got a little angle, we throw it down there because we like how he's able to play down there, not only for himself, but he's able to kick out as well.
What was the kind of tension and environment feeling towards between these two teams pregame? It seemed like there was a little chippiness before. There was a little chippiness at the beginning. Obviously, a long history between these two programs.
Yeah, for sure. As you said, two great programs who had some success in the past and two great programs now. And then, you have a player that's played on that team, and it kind of adds a few as well. So we just kind of got to stay level-headed, and that's what Coach preached. That's what he always preached. Don't worry about the refs, control the controllables, and let our game do the talking.
The shooting in the first half, was it something they were doing or just an off half?
Yeah, just off half. We got some great looks. We had some great looks that just didn't drop for us. So we just got to kind of not let that get discouraged and keep hunting those shots.
What was Lander's mentality heading into this one? Could you sense it was meant a little bit more to him?
He was calm as he always is. I'm pretty sure it did naturally, coming from school. But he handled it as well as you could have. Like you said, he was a little chippy, but he controlled himself and handled himself like a real a gentleman down the stretch.
What kind of issues did they give you guys kind of driving to the basket? Obviously, a lot of foul trouble up and down the roster tonight.
Yeah, they got length. I think that's their game plan. They switch it and try to take you off the three-point line and get you to drive towards length and make a decision. And they had some success down there for sure.
This is an older Memphis team than maybe they've had the past couple of years. Could you sense that when it got 50-50, they didn't seem to get rattled even on the road?
Yeah, for sure. I think in previous years, I won't speak to previous years. This year, they're as tight as they've ever been, and for sure you can tell that.
There was 8,000 or so there, but you may have had a bigger crowd without the snow and all that. Could that have made a difference?
Well, first of all, I'm just glad everyone was, being safe. And, my mom and my little brother were supposed to come, and I think she was about 30 minutes out, and she decided she almost got into an accident, so she turned back around. So I want everyone to be safe out here. But, the more the merrier, but we can't deal with the externals. We just got to continue to push and fight and come back tomorrow even more hungry.
Do you see things, though, where you can get them in the FedEx Forum?
Excuse me?
Did you see things today that might help you have a chance down there?
Yeah, we believe they had a good game. We believe our mistakes is controllable. So as every win or loss, we approach it the same, just getting better each and every day. And, I feel like we'll become a better team next time we play them. And even before that, I practice tomorrow.
You guys had a 3-game win streak early in conference play last year, and then things kind of went south a little bit after that. What needs to be different with this team? What is different with this team to prevent things from being similar to last year, but also being different this year?
Yeah, as I said, coaches talk about wins and losses approaching the same way. We get back in there, we work hard, we work smart. We beat 2 feet, which is 2 feet in with one another. So I think we have an older group, a veteran group that who's been through those droughts here or elsewhere. And we just had to rely on their maturity and come back and understand that it's a lot left season left.
All right, thanks, David.
Thank you, guys. Be safe. Yep.